This is Phil from Race City Retro, and it's model car time, or should I say model truck time today. Very excited today. This is going to be our first video in a build series we're going to do. Been building model cars this year. It'll be 50 years I'm building model cars. I want to put together a series where we go over a few builds from start to finish, show some of my techniques, and in the comments, always feel free to put your techniques. I'd love to hear what you guys think. We're going to do some really cool box stock builds. We're going to do some custom builds. We're going to do some kit bashing, all types of stuff. There's nothing that I don't do. I don't build one particular type of car or anything like that. I like to dabble in everything. I've built a ton of miles in my life, and I hope to live long enough to build a ton more. So glad you guys are here today. So glad you're joining us. Please subscribe. Why doesn't anybody subscribe on YouTube? When you subscribe on model car videos, guess what? They send you more model car videos. Me, I subscribe to model car videos, so I get a heck of a lot more. I'm not a pro. I don't call myself a pro. I build clean. I'm not one of those self-proclaimed professional builders. I don't spend $700 to build one model either with billet this, billet that. I just like a nice clean build. I like detailing stuff when I have to. A lot of times I stick box stock, but what I like to do is research what I'm building, especially if I'm building a stock vehicle you're going to see today. I like to get it as close to the way it should be as possible. Once again, man, thank you guys so much for joining us. Today we're going to start with this kit, which I love. Let me get it off the bench here. 1978 Dodge D100. This is a nice looking truck. I love, they call these what do they call them now? The tin grills. It's called the tin grill Dodge with a bird bath hood. The bird bath hoods have the little cutaways in them because they fill with water on the real trucks, so they call it a bird bath hood. But we're going to do a bone stock build on this truck. And today we're going to just basically do a box opening, review the kit, and I'm going to talk to you about my build plan for this 78 Dodge D100 pickup truck. Comes with a mini bike. Nice. Okay, one of the things you may have noticed in the thumbnail photo was not only did I show the kit, I showed some factory literature. And if you walked into the Dodge dealer in 1977, I'm guessing, because it was a new model 78, and asked them about a truck brochure, this is what they would have given you. This is Dodge job rated trucks for 1978. And the reason I like to pick this up, I have a whole library of these, is they're cheap. You can get them on eBay for like $5 to $10. Half the time that's with free shipping. And it provides so much information for your build if you're looking to build a stock vehicle. Let's take a look at this and I'll show you what I'm trying to achieve here. Now this will tell you, let's get that glare off of there. This will tell you original engine sizes, options available, colors available, and that's what I'm concerned with. I know in that kit, probably the parts are going to be pretty legit and correct, but you always got to pick a color first. To me, that sets the whole tone for the build. You got to know right from day one, that's part of it, the plan where, what am I going to paint this thing? What color is the interior going to be? So that, once you know that, now in your mind, you're already seeing it done. And my vision for this build is citron green metallic. It's a weird 70s color. It looks really sharp on these trucks. Here, I'll show you. There it is. Top photo there. That's the look I'm going for. Basically, the citron green, not going to do a white top, and I am going to put the dog dish hubcaps on it. I kind of like that cheapy work truck look better than the fulls, with the white walls and all that. And what I've chosen to try and get as close as I can to that particular color is some Testors Extreme Lacquer. We're going to use this. Boy, $9 for a can of paint. Too much. And the Extreme Lacquer Clear. And watch this. It's a pretty good match. You're not going to get exact. It's a little more spicy. But you got to remember, this is printed on paper. So it's going to be close enough. to that particular truck, the way I want to build it. Oh, it's horrible glare. I'm sorry. Let me lift that up a tick. Yeah, it's going to be pretty close to that if you look at the two colors together. We'll do that. And now, when these trucks were new, I can remember seeing them with body-colored steel wheels, and I remember seeing them with black steel wheels. Probably going to do the black steel wheels with the dog dish hubcaps, and we'll do the engine dead stock on it. But that's part of my vision for this build. Let's take a look at this kit and see what it comes with. All right, let's dig into this kit and see what it's all about. And this kit, I did this as our first feature because this is a kit you can get at any Hobby Lobby. They have them on sale every now and then. I think it's every other week. You get them 40% off, which is a great deal. If you look at the box cover, you get the mini bike. That's pretty cool. And it looks like you also get some tools and a jack. A bunch of decals, like if you want to build a work truck, or I think it's a landscaper's truck, and all kinds of great license plates and stuff. So that's pretty neat when they give me that full decal sheet like that. It's got a flip down tailgate. It's got the detailed engine, the toolbox. You got like a snowplow light, I guess, some other driving lights. Pretty cool. Stock wheels with pad printed tires. So that means they're going to come with the white walls on them. Yeah, that's why I got it a while ago. I've been meaning to build it. And should be a real good build. Should be nice and easy too. Usually MPC kits are not too bad to do. So if you're a beginner, this is a great one to start with. First of all, it's a pickup truck. It's a very easy vehicle to paint. You don't have a ton of roof on it. And we'll get into that. And I'm going to do a separate video on painting model cars all by itself. This way I could show you like the ins and outs of painting. That seems to be like everybody's biggest fear is painting. I want to paint. All right, let's take a look at this kit. See what's in it. All right, I picked up this handy dandy, I guess you would call this a sprue rack or a tree rack from Hobby Lobby also. Never had one, and this will be my first model. I'm going to give this a try on, and I guess you use that when you paint, but as we go through these, we can show that as well. And let's start with the chrome tree. And what I like to do before I start a build is just inspect everything, make sure there's no issues, nothing weird. Everything's going to work out okay. Oh, there's your dog dish hubcaps. They put those in their own little separate wrapper. That's pretty cool. And this is going to be your bumpers and your grill. It's got some nice, these look like the Little Red Express wheels too, like some polished slots. This may be the same chrome tree for like a Little Red Express kit. That's probably why those wheels are on there. You have some full-length towing mirrors on it, some other like factory-type mirrors, chrome valve covers, chrome fan, that'll be getting painted, alternator, your spotlights, all kinds of cool stuff here. There's some tools. Looks like a hammer and wrenches. So that's pretty cool. And I'm guessing this goes in there. Yep, look at that. Okay. So that'll hold your trees. This little guy will leave back there because I am going to use the dog dish on it. Here's your glass. Everything looks good with this. No cracks. I don't see anything strange. I love the fact they wrap the glass now. Years ago, you would get tire rubs and stuff on the glass. There's your tail lights. And that's your gumball for the roof if you're doing some type of work truck. Really should be amber, because if it was only a police car could run a red light. And, okay, do the body next. Okay, here's the body. So this is a long bed truck. That's pretty cool. Let's cut this open and inspect it. And things you're looking for, you know, years ago it was a different ball of wax. They used to pack these models so tight. Once you took them out of the box, you can never get them back in. Today they do a much better job of saving things as far as damages and stuff of that nature. All right, there's your chassis. Now what you're looking for when you get a model like this, the cab, take a look at the pillars. They call that the A pillar. And the reason they call it the A pillar is because it's the first one. You'd have an A pillar, you'd have a B pillar. If this was a real car, it would have a C pillar back there. If it was a hard top, it would be called pillarless. It would just go from an A pillar to the rear pillar, which I guess they would call it a B or a C, but it wouldn't have a pillar. But this is a coupe, a truck. A pillar, B pillar. Look at the front. Make sure the roof's not shifted weird or any of this stuff is bent or cracked. Take a look. These break all the time too, because you want to make these repairs ahead of time. Your back is fine because that's nice and strong. You don't have any issues usually with a pillow that thick. Little flash from the mold that will trim off as we prepare this thing for paint. Little flash down there, we could trim that off as well. I don't see any emblems on this kit, which is great. They probably give them to you in decal, and it helps when you're painting too. A lot of times with beginning painters, they put so much paint that the emblems will cause a run, or you'll get a heavy section there by the emblems. So it's always nice when you could add the emblems later if they're on the chrome tree or if they're on the decal sheet. But that's a good looking cab, a little up there. When we do the cab cleanup, when we start the paint procedure, we'll go over that step by step. Here's your bed, and this is a long bed truck. And it comes with a fold down tailgate, which is kind of neat. Bed looks good, no rot on it yet. Back in the late 70s, all the vehicles used to rust on the showroom floor. The metal they were using wasn't really good. So to find one of these trucks in real life clean today, oh man, you better buy it on the spot. But that's a good looking bed. Everything looks good with it. I don't see any issues with the bed. And let's get a look at the chassis. Now, MPC hasn't been known for a ton of detail, but this looks great because everything's separate. Normally MPC kits, the rear end would be molded in, the front would be molded in, so it gives you a chance to detail everything up nicely. And that's your fuel tank right there. Now, what you want to look for on your chassis, make sure it's not bent, warped, twisted, because those are things that you have to address before you try putting this model together. But this one looks really good. I don't see any issues with that chassis. All right, here's some small parts. Bag of small parts. Oh, this is the mini bike, looks like. Okay, so the mini bike gets its own tree. There's your forks, there's your frame, engine, front and rear tires, the seat and gas tank and everything is molded in. So that's pretty cool. That's the mini bike part of it. Just watch those handlebars. Man, those look a little fragile. Be careful with those. Here's your steel wheels. So now if I was going to paint these wheels body color, I could spray them when I paint the body, but I'm going to do them gloss black or like a semi-gloss black with the doggish. I think it just gives a little contrast to all that green. They came both ways. I can remember these trucks with black wheels. I can remember with body colored wheels, just like it is on the cover. So we're going to do these black just to set it off a little better with the dogfish in them. That should be pretty cool. See, and I guess with this tree thing, you could paint too in this. See, some things it holds, some things it don't, because you got tabs on all this, which that's great if you're painting, because now you could leave your wheels like that and spray them if you want to spray them body color. So that's actually great on that tree. I've never seen that before. It's like a stand, but it doesn't let my new toy work too good. Here's your chassis parts. Actually, there's your jack. It comes with a floor jack. That's kind of neat. That's your steering column. These are chassis cross members. Small part there. That's something for something. Got to look on the instruction sheet maybe for that. And what do we hear? Okay, this looks like an antenna. A CB radio. Breaker, good buddy. There it is. It was the 70s. And this, I don't know, might be the steering column. Kind of strange. And you got a long rod here, but we'll look on the instructions, see what those go with. Here's some more of your interior stuff. Nice dashboard. Definitely, oh, great detail. I could see the numbers and stuff on the Speedo. You have your manual transmission pedals. So you got a stick and a clutch. Gas pedal's probably in the cup. This is your tailgate. So now you got to remember that's got to be painted at the time you paint. And this is your inner tailgate. And then this looks like some type of, this might be the lower piece under the tailgate. We'll check our instruction sheet for that. Okay, so that's your first small bag of parts. Okay, next bag is our big bag of parts. And this has got all the juicy stuff on it. And what we have here is engine and trans, one piece, they're not separate. Your cylinder heads. And here's your water pump housing. And this is a big block because it's got the distributor in the front, which I don't believe, if you look at my literature, ironically, you had to get this is a D100, this truck. You had to get the D150 to get the big block, if I'm not mistaken, but I will check my brochure out. Here's your leaf springs, your rear end. Looks like a Dana 60 type housing. And then down here, you got your front lower control arms, your strut rod arms in the front, some really skinny shocks. Woo, those are thin. Here's your belts. Here's your exhaust manifolds. your oil pan, your intake manifold. So this is an old style MPC engine. It really doesn't have a ton of detail on it, but for this particular build, it's going to work just fine. This is going to be a simple work truck. We're not going super crazy with it. Just a nice, clean build. And here's your next setup. This looks like your heater box, probably for the firewall. More cross members. You got to realize truck chassis are basically a box. They have a lot of cross members. There's your radiator. There's your front inner cross member, looks like. Battery, steering wheel. That looks like a toolbox almost. Here's your spare tire, Goodyear Polyglass GT. That's going to go under the back of the truck. Here's your two-piece drive shaft, your firewall. So this is nice. I'll post up a factory picture of one of these trucks because, believe it or not, this might be black on this truck. Chrysler always use outside colors in their engine compartments. Let's confirm that, because if this is body color, I need to paint this when I paint the body. If it's black, satin black, let's say, I could paint it at a later time. Here's your exhaust on it with your crossover pipe. That's just your tail, so I'm guessing this goes on that. It's a single. And then this is your front radiator support. And that may have to be painted body color too, and then technically blacked out. Chrysler always used black paint behind their grills because if you had a truck that was bright yellow, white, they didn't like that chrome grill, and then in through the grill, all you saw was this white. So a guy would literally stand there with a can of black paint and next time you see like an all original Chrysler product, look down, you'll see it'll almost look like the guy that owns it did it, but nope, that was done on the assembly line. Okay, here is your interior cup. Very nice. It's got inner seat belts, so I'm assuming this was either a 78 or it's probably a shoulder belt truck, or they may give you a second one. Door panels look good, which truck door panels are very basic. They're not going to be super detailed. Your gas pedal is molded in, and there's your floor shift, so it's a manual trans, so you're going to have a stick shift coming out of that, and that's on that. And here's a few more parts. There's the bird bath hood. See, like I said earlier, the real trucks, when they get wet, the water just lays inside this hood, and the birds literally use it for a bird bath. There's your inner drums, your backing plates for your wheels. Okay, now in this bag, here's your tires, and these already have the white walls on them, which is neat, or you could just flip it over and do a black wall, which is what I'll probably do, because like I said, I want that real cheapy look on this truck, like a real work truck. And there's your metal axles. A lot of AMT kits and MPC kits use metal axles. On monogram kits, you really won't see that. On Johan kits, they usually use plastic axles. But that's your metal axles, and that's your tires. Looks like a real nice tire. Typical, from the era, 70s looking tire. Really, really nice. Wow, this is a really nice decal sheet. Look at this, man. Lots of choices. So basically they're saying two different colors, a dark and a light, because, if you were going to paint this truck black, let's say, you needed that one. If you're going to paint it bright yellow or bright blue, you could use that one. Some motorcycle guys that go with that business, the Blue Sprocket Motorcycle Repair. You've got all types of hand-painted lettering, which is what they did in the 70s on the trucks. There wasn't a ton of vinyl. And then you got a grass company, Green Toes. You got another bike repair. You got all these great license plates, amazing. The Dodge tailgate letters, that's what those are. These Dodges had decals on the tailgate, and I guess depending on which color you're going to paint your truck, you have a decal that can work with a bunch of different colors. There's your fender emblems, like I said originally. That's great, so those are decals. These are your side markers. These 3 bars, what are those? I don't know, I'll have to see what the heck those are. And that is a great looking set of decals. What a great decal sheet. I can't wait to start building this kit. It's going to be awesome. Instructions. Instructions seem pretty basic. Nothing really. If you're a beginner modeler, get used to using instructions, even if you're a mechanic and you know cars and stuff, because a lot of times you'll run into something weird. You'll get a part and you go, what the heck is this? And when you look it up on here, it kind of explains it. And it just shows you, a lot of times there'll be a certain order. They want you to put something together so that it's just so you don't have issues later on. I know guys love to, or actually hate to ask for instructions, but like I said, I've been building 50 years. I still glance through the instructions, and this way I know what's what. But yeah, it looks like a pretty simple kit. Nothing too out of the ordinary. That's why I really recommend this kit. If you're a new builder, this is a kit you can put together pretty easily and have a great time with it. Like I said, I can't wait to dig in. There's all your tools and stuff that they're giving you. And like I said earlier, don't forget, if you get the opportunity to buy some factory literature. Let's get this book back over here, because this is really great to have. I mean, there's a lot of reference stuff in here and options, and I mean, just amazing photos of what these vehicles look like when they were brand new. You know, these work trucks, some guy got in this truck every day and he went to work and he did his job, and it's amazing, you know, how they got it done. But that's what we're going for. That's the color. So we're going to do that with the black wheels, with the dog dish, all solid body. I don't like that white top. I don't know. That's Dodge used to have a promotion. They'd call it a white hat special, and they'd have a white vinyl top, and they'd sell those cars, I guess, you know, at a deal or something. But I want it all green with black wheels. I think that's going to be a great contrast. They had some really cool colors in the 70s, which you'll see, you know, as you look through these brochures. And here are the colors that truck was available in. The first one, the light blue, it kind of looks like a petty blue. Then you have the mint green metallic. You have bright yellow, which would be more like a fleet color. Light tan, sunrise orange, canyon red sunfire metallic. That sounds great. White, medium blue metallic, medium green sunfire metallic, citron green. That's us. That's what we're doing. Bright tan metallic, bright canyon red, light silver metallic, and good old black. I cannot wait to get this kit going. The next video we're going to do is going to be prep for paint, and I'm going to show you guys how I would paint it. I like to have my bodies painted and all together and then build the rest. It just flows real good, and you got to let that body dry a while before you start putting everything together. I don't wait till the last minute to paint it. I paint first, and man, it really inspires you when you get that beautiful looking painted body to get the rest finished. I found that trick out. That's the first trick I'm going to teach you. You want to finish your models, paint the body first. The rest of it seems real easy once you're looking at a nice painted, detailed body. Hey, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I can't wait to do this build with you. Please, please, please give me a like, give me a subscribe. Check out our website, racecityretro.com. Support the channel. So much cool stuff there. You're not going to believe it. So till next time, maybe go out, get yourself a D100 kit from Hobby Lobby. Build it along with me. Can't wait. Would love to hear your comments and stuff, what you guys think of my color choice, and let me know anything along the build that you like, you don't like. Okay, guys, can't wait till the next volume where we get started on the body, prepping for paint the body. Sounds real good, right? I'm excited, man. Take care. Get over to your bench and start building something cool.